hello, everyone out there. My name is Barbara Beckley, and you are looking at the wonderful Diamond. Ooh, I just can't wait. Prospective panelist discussion. We are bringing it back, and you see these lovely ladies that are on. Some of them have shows under the Diamond Factor Experience, and then we have a very special guest tonight with us to talk about our topic tonight. Now, just to let everybody know real quickly, because I just want to pave the way for these wonderful experts to talk about the topic we're going to talk about tonight. But just to let you know, we will be coming on once a month on Thursday at the same time. It's the first week in the month. So you'll be seeing us talk about different hot topics or what's going on in the world and just getting our Diamond perspective on what's going on with you. And I want to make sure that people are talking to, I can't say that word that they say we can't say anymore on Facebook, but just share your wealth where you can. You know what I'm talking about. So with that said, I want to introduce these wonderful Queen Diamonds. They're going to introduce themselves real quickly, and then we're going to get right into the discussion. So I'm going to start off with, let's see, right, left, whatever. Let's start off with the other Barbara. Uh-oh, there you go.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, my name is Barbara Lunan Ellison. I am an author, a speaker, a personality science trainer, and I am on a mission to make happiness the norm rather than the exception. And how I do that is I work with entrepreneurs to teach them how to get along with everybody, because we can't do life on our own. So I'm excited to be here to share some info and learn about passion and purpose. So thanks for coming on.
Okay, thank you, Miss Barbara. And we will go to next, Latasha. Uh-oh, I blanked out. Okay, go ahead. You're on mute.
No, that's fine. Yeah, okay. I'm on mute. My name is. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
My name is Letitia Jackson, and okay, perfect. My name is Letitia Jackson, and I am a mom of 4, 3 girls, 1 boy, and also a grandma to 1 3-year-old, very active little boy. And I help individuals build or help them leave a legacy through the financial services life insurance industry.
Okay, straight to the point. Whoa. Okay. Then our next wonderful Queen Diamond, Miss Pat.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pat Nauer. I'm the CEO of Corner Office University. I've worked as a business coach for 18 plus years. I've owned 3 businesses, risen to the top all the way up to CEO in several companies. And I'm in the process of launching a new company. I am one of the experts on Monday morning at 8:30 Central, and I talk about business and money and mastery, talk about business and money and mindset so that everybody can manage their money better and they can have more fun and enjoy life a whole lot more. Because let's face it, business is not just about business, it's also about life.
Thank you, Pat. And Lachelle?
Hello, everyone. I am Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom, mother of 15. I am a lifestyle designer. I help empower women to be the best version of themselves. I'm also a podcast host, and I'm also one of the Diamond Expert shows that comes on Friday mornings at 6:30 a.m. And it is Wake Up with America's Supermom. We tackle topics to help us overcome limiting beliefs and transform our mindset. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And our wonderful special guest this evening, Miss Luana.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Barbara. I am Luana Bradford. I'm a serial entrepreneur, over 30 years experience as an entrepreneur. I am the COO of the Bradford Group, which is an investment and commercial mortgage company, as well as the principal of the Bradford Group Consulting, where we work with both big and small businesses to position for success and growth. And I am the co-founder of Celebrate You, Women Embracing Wellness Movement, where we are designed to help elevate and position women mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually to make an impact in the lives of their family, the community, the nation, and the world. I'm a 3-time international selling author, speaker, and I just love life. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Lady Queen Diamond Luana. Yes. And I was just this is a funny thing. So I was kind of adding up everybody's experience, like how many years they've been doing things, and some years I know some people doing. We have almost 113 years of experience in this panel right now. Together, that is awesome. I'm showing my age, but I only have 30 years of insurance. I was like, ugh, that's taking a pie right there. Then Luana just said her 30, and then the list goes on with Michelle and then Barbara. So I was like, wow. So just saying that alone, and all the listeners out there, you have experts on this panel right now. So with that, we're going to get right into it. So I want to read a quick quote from Jack Canfield, and then I just want to ask each of our panelists a little bit about basically how would you define their purpose? Because, we all had to start somewhere. And that's why I wanted to really do this first show regarding that, because everybody's always hearing me talk about the PPD, purpose, passion, and drive. And that's basically the whole platform that I use for the Diamond Factor and the Diamond Factor Experience group. But I said to myself, it'd be nice if we kind of talk about that as entrepreneurs, as women. Where did it start from? Where did you get your purpose? Where you say, oh, I just found out this is my purpose, or I love doing this. So I wanted us to come on and talk a little bit about that. But I want to give a quote. Jack Canfield stated, clarify your purpose. What is the why behind everything you do? When we know this in life or design, it is very empowering and the path is clear. So that was one of his, I loved this particular thing. I thought this would be a good start to kind of really dig in a little bit and have people really think about, while they're listening to us, about, how do they define their purpose. So I'm going to give the floor first to our special guest. I'm going to give it to Luana. Just give, this a few minutes on that.
You want me to just give you faded out on me, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we are fading it out. Sorry about that. Just to give you a definition of your purpose in your life, and how you went by finding it.
Oh, sure. I probably have a very unique way that I look at purpose. I do agree with Jack Canfield that it is linked to your ultimate why. And I believe that your purpose is actually in the essence of you. And it's not so much the thing that you do, but the impact that you make. And when you look back on your life, you will see that everything that you've done has led up to each critical and pivotal moment in your life that has had, I like to call, revolutionary impacts, whether it's in you or in your scope of influence. And for me, my purpose has been to be an educator and an exhorter. And I can see that from being like 2 and 3 years old. I was like always this teacher and instructor, and very, very inquisitive about life and the constructs of life and why people did what they did. And that curiosity has never left me. And so I took that in my business life and in my corporate life and focused on business, because I love how things just fit. And my purpose, what I thought at that time was, I just want to make businesses be successful. And then I realized, no, I had a gifting of having a strategic lens in how I looked at life. And that lens enables me to navigate through the obstacles and the nuances that you have in life. And I'm able to teach people how to operate in that lane of genius within themselves, and to not look at the obstacles in life as stumbling blocks, but rather stepping stones. So again, whether that's in business or a business or enterprise or an individual. So now you fast forward to now, because I really believe that your purpose is a continuum. I don't believe it's a start stop. So when I look at my continuum in life, now my purpose is taking that same lens and now using my voice in a way that I've never done before to help women to elevate, to be, as I mentioned with the Celebrate You, who they were intended to be, so that they in turn can have an impact throughout the world. So now my purpose, I guess if I were to bookend it, would be life is happening now. Live life now. So that's my message. So if I looked at from beginning to end, and I always say, you know, my life, and this is like what Queen Elizabeth said, and I love it, if it be long or short, that I want to make sure that I always have impact and that I urge people to live life now, this very moment, embracing the brilliance that we have as this collective group of beautiful women. You know, I'm right here. I'm sold out in this moment. I'm not thinking about what I have to do or what I didn't do. That's where life is happening. And that's where I believe the God seed is. You're muted.
Just want to make sure I don't want you to say without me interfering. But I love what you said when you're talking about live life now in the middle, you know, what we're doing right now, because I forgot who said this, where they said, you know, you're born and then you have that middle and then you have your, you know, that end date. And what are you doing in that middle? You know, people always ask that question, and it's so awesome. You know, you're talking about creating impact, because I think out of everything, through all of us, it's important to do that in life, especially sharing your wisdom and the knowledge that you have. So thank you for sharing that, Luana. Next, I want to call on, here I go, some of this sound tonight. I want to ask Pat.
So I have a very different perspective on purpose. I think that throughout your life, yes, I do believe that we all have a purpose in life and that we aren't really quite sure what that is, and that we maneuver our way doing different things throughout life in order to figure that out. You know, we're all put here on this planet for a reason. It's to interact with other people. It's to give to other people. It's to affect other people and for them to affect us. But the way that we get there may be different for different people. We all have a different pathway that we're going through. You know, some people will do 100 different things in their career, or they'll go through 100 different relationships in the course of their lifetime. Other people will stay steady in one job, in one relationship. You know, they have a very stable family. They live in one place their entire life. Purpose is different for different people. And I think a lot of it has to do with your interpretation of what purpose really is. Is purpose the mission that you're on in the course of your life, or is it something that you're born with, a seed that's planted inside of you, so that you're working towards whatever that is in the end? I don't know about you, but I have climbed, I can't tell you how many ladders, and gotten up to the top and realized I was on the wrong ladder, or I was at the top of the wrong building. And to say that my purpose was pre-designed and that I'm supposed to be going a different direction, I don't know that for sure. I'd like to say that, but I don't know that for sure. One thing that I do know is that every day I get up and I know that I'm here to serve people. I'm here to make a difference in people's lives. And that is what I do. And that's the common thread that runs through my life, no matter what I do, no matter who I talk to. But the common purpose is I'm here to serve you.
I remembered off mute. Wonderful, Pat. Love that. Yes. I'm loving the different lenses that everybody's putting towards purpose. This is awesome. I want to go to the next person, and that's the other Barbara. She told me to call her Barbara too, but I'll just say Barbara, the other Barbara.
Yeah, the BBs. It just makes it easy. Anyways, you know, I think for me, for so many years, I was looking to discover my purpose. I kept looking for my purpose. And I have to admit, I think for so many years, I complicated it. And once I realized that my purpose was really simple, that my basic overall purpose, and now I can look back on my life and go, oh, that's pretty much how I've lived my life. To serve God, to learn things, and then to teach others what I have learned. And I can look back on all the things that I have done. And I've had so many people that say, oh, Barbie, make it so easy for me to grasp this, to be able to teach somebody how to do something. And so that has just, it's like, oh, so once I had that, then it was like, okay, so now how do I want to use that to make a difference in the world? And that's when, and it was a friend of mine asked me the question, well, Barb, what do you want? And I said, you know what? I just want people to be happy within themselves, to be happy in their life, to be happy in their business, to, and not to say that we're not going to have issues and we're not going to have problems, but within ourselves to enjoy our life. And that has now permeated everything that I do. I want people to get to, that's where my personality science comes in. I want people to learn how to be able to get along with the people around them. That's why Barb and we started the Happiness 101 show. Wow. And because people want to have fun. They want to see people smile. And we're not getting that in a lot of our people, right now, especially right now, because so many things have become so serious. Let's put a little bit of levity, and not in a facetious way, but in just because sometimes you have to get away from the negative, let's put a little bit of positivity. Because we're all connected and we are more alike than we can possibly be different. And that's where, so if we can all strive to put that little bit of happiness back in our lives, within ourselves and with others, we can change the world one person at a time. So that's kind of my thing that I want to help people to do.
It's so awesome that we all want to serve people. I love it. I love it. It's just the way the world goes around. That's awesome. Next person, I'm going to say her name right this time. Letitia, give me your take on your purpose and what you think about it.
Perfect. I think I'm unmuted. I guess how I found my purpose, I'm fairly new to entrepreneurship. Growing up in my household, entrepreneurship wasn't really talked about much. It was more like, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and you stay in that job until you retire, and that's what you do. But 2 years ago, I found myself and my 4 children living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, and I was just like, there has to be something greater. There has to be something more to life than me working 9 to 5 every day with not much to show for it. So someone introduced me to the world of entrepreneurship, and I haven't looked back since. So we were able to go out of that 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom apartment into a bedroom, 3-bathroom home, just a year of taking that step out. But it took a whole lot of God telling me, be still and know that I am God. Be still and let me direct your pathway. Because entrepreneurship wasn't something that was talked about in my household, I didn't know what my purpose was. I knew my purpose was to serve, and I did that in my job, but I knew that I wanted my kids to know something different. I didn't want them to just say, go to school, get good grades, get you a good job, and spend the rest of your life doing it. Like, I wanted my legacy to be so much more. So I knew my purpose had to be so much more. So just spending time in asking God, like, help me get to where I'm supposed to be. So it's consistently evolving every day, because I'm pretty sure I haven't arrived. So, my first purpose was to show my kids something different. Let me show you a different lifestyle that I didn't grow up with. So living out their purpose, and now that, they're getting to understand, because for the last 2 years, they've been growing a business with us, that now my job is to serve other people, help them get an understanding of how to create a foundation, and let me help you learn, the language and the steps in order to do that, so that it can also leave that to your children and then their children, and so on and so forth. So I think my purpose is steadily evolving. I'm growing into it each and every day. I'm learning from this one of women that I listen to every week as we come on experience show, and enjoying God continuously walking me to what my next purpose is. And it's always to serve.
Thank you, Letitia. And then I'm going to go with Lachelle.
All right. You guys have said some great answers, and I agree with every one of them. The thing that I would say about my purpose is really the discovery of who I am. I really struggled with this. I feel like as I grew up as a child, a lot of my focus was on seeking the validation outside of myself. You know, I was raised to get good grades, to be a good student, and all these things were outward centered. And raised that way, I was able to solve a lot of problems. I was a high achiever, and those skills were monumental in allowing me to be the person I am today. However, it just set me on this path of feeling like I had to always be in control. I couldn't ask for help. That was a sign of weakness. And so the struggle began in my own life with the mindset of thinking that, you know, I had to fake it till I made it, or all these other things, wearing masks. And now that life does not serve me. And I am passionate about helping women, especially, recognize that we have to empower ourselves and be able to address things that we would desire and find a pathway to get there. So I feel like I have very good problem skills to be able to execute solutions, but show people how they can do the same thing in their own lives. And I think, you know, being raised when you're a high achiever, you're raised to think this is the way it has to be. There's only one way to get there. You know, it's like a math formula. You could put in different numbers or whatever, but the formula is supposed to be the same all the time. So when you have that mindset, that's something you have to unlearn as you go through life, because there is no cookie cutter way to solve every problem. So the ability that I have to be able to think outside the box and be able to help other people recognize the gifts that they have within them and allow them to bring them out so that they can be the best version of themselves is now what I feel my purpose is.
Thank you, Lachelle. That's awesome. So I'm glad everybody touched on, you know, what they identified their purpose is and what they think, how they got to that purpose. And a lot of you were talking about impact. You were talking about serving others and just being there, you know, as being either a mother or wife or entrepreneur or a business person, which I'm loving everything about that. The thing that I want to ask, because, you know, we have to mix it up here a little bit, is when you're talking about your purpose, you know, because the definition, you know, I'm just going to get Webster real quick. It says the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. So we all exist on this earth for a reason. We're just not just here. And I always say that to a lot of people, like, you know, you were born in this world for a purpose, for a reason. And a lot of times people say, yeah, I was born to be a wife. I was born to be a mother. I was born to be an owner of a company. What would you say on that? Because a lot of times I tell people sometimes that's a title more so than your true purpose of what you're trying to do. Just want to ask the panel your thoughts on that. Anybody can go.
I'll jump in real quick. I was actually thinking about that before jumping on this panel, and you're right. Those are titles, those are positions that we hold, but it's not our purpose. I think, again, as I mentioned in my intro, it's the essence of us. It's an extension of us, because if your purpose is only to be, and I don't want to use only in a slighting way, to be a mother, then that means when that role is no longer, if you've lost a child tragically, then does that mean you no longer have purpose? Or if your purpose was to be a wife, or your purpose was to be in the military and you're no longer serving in the armed forces, does life end when that role stops? Does your purpose end? And so I think that it's if we can rise up and see the greater umbrella, the lane, like we heard everyone here say, I was put here to serve. Well, that's in essence your purpose. Now, how that looks and how it's defined will be defined differently based upon our interests and the path that God has us walk. But if service is your purpose and that's your purpose, it will always stay. It will never go away. That's just my thought.
Love it. That's so, yes. I love how you put that, Luana. Yes, because we can have titles all the time, but like you said, when you're saying I'm here to serve, depends on how you serve. I mean, I serve a different way than maybe Barbara will serve, than Luana or Pat or, Lachelle. So anybody else wanted to comment on that particular regarding title compared to your true purpose?
I think that we all go through different stages of life. If you look at it from even a human development perspective, there are different stages that people go through, and in each stage, your purpose looks different. Your purpose looks, as a child, your purpose looks one way, and when you're, 70 years old, your purpose looks very, very different. It doesn't mean that your purpose has not, your purpose has changed. You're just wearing a different hat at different stages in your life. It's like, okay, let's just compare it to shoes. Because I mean, doesn't everybody love shoes? So when you're a child, you wear the little bitty shoes, right? And as you get older, your shoes begin to change. You start wearing high heels or you wear flats, depending on what life is looking like. Well, it's the same way with the way your purpose looks. We all look different as we go through different stages of life. And, one day you can be looking like you're living in poverty. The next day you can be looking like you're living like the richest person in the world. Another time you can be, highly elegant. Another time you can be really dressed down. It doesn't mean your purpose has changed. You're just wearing a different hat, or in this case, a different pair of shoes.
Awesome.
Yeah. For me, one of the things I think for me personally is that as I have segmented it slightly, my purpose is to teach people what I know about that, the things that I'm learning to have a better life, or to have to find out who you are within yourself, to find out what's stopping you from becoming the best version of you. But my mission changes. My mission has changed over the years. Like, my mission really changed through the tragedy of losing my husband. I did not expect to be a widow so young. And so now I'm on a mission to help other widows to traverse that horribleness of losing my spouse that I've now been able to do, and have recaptured my joy of living, and that I like me. Who was I outside of being a wife and a mother and a grandmother and all of those things? And so I think that for me has been, just once I separated that my basic purpose is to teach people, who I'm teaching might change, but my basic purpose stayed the same, that I'm to teach. But now my mission is to help other women. 700,000 women became widows last year.
Wow.
And
Wow.
there is, and from the research that I'm doing, so many of the programs out there are very analytical type programs. Do this, do this, do this, but they don't talk about our inner journey. They don't, and now I think in the world, there is now such a great awakening of the spiritual journey that we need to go on, that we are all part of. All of us here are all saying basically the same thing. We want to impact. That is a great awakening. And so that's where, for me, there's a little bit of a difference. It's my purpose is to teach, but my mission might be slightly different.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Barbara, because like you said, I can just say, when you were talking about, we're here to teach or to serve, but it can change as you're getting, you're growing. Because
Right.
I mean, a long time ago, because we're all growing. we're all different stages in our lives. So I was just saying, just for myself, I was just thinking as you were talking, LaWanda and everybody, I was like, okay, before it was insurance, I'm still doing insurance, but I don't want to teach insurance. I want to help women understand what we're talking about right now. So, I mean, I went from insurance to now this, but I still want to help and teach, just like you said. The main thing is there, but it's just changed as we're all growing and going into our ways of life. Anybody
And
else
we've
want?
all evolved.
And we all
We have
revolve
all
from that.
evolved. I'm not the same person. I'm not the same woman that I was when my husband passed away. I'm a totally different person
Mhm.
because I've learned to be content within myself. Who am I? Who's the Barbara? And now I can share with other women how to become the very best of who they are. And we don't learn that in high school. We don't learn it in college. They don't teach that. We have to step up and help everybody else out there to learn who they are.
Yes.
And then they will find their own purpose within them. Everything that we need is within us. We have to mine it. And sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And we don't even know how to ask for because we don't know. And that's why I think every one of us brings that even in this discussion. Because if one person gets one little glimmer of, because everybody resonates differently. That is awesome.
It is awesome. So, anybody else want to comment before I go?
Yeah,
Lachelle?
I agree a lot with what Barbara was saying because, I think when we're on this journey, we believe that we find people who know their purpose, and then we think, well, because we can see them acting out their purpose, that we can mimic them, and that's going to give us our purpose. So that's how we get into roles and titles and things that we do. And the whole thing is to figure out who you are. But that goes after breaking away from that desire to fit in with everybody, to appreciate the differences and the uniqueness. And that's one of the things that, we're not really taught as kids. It's always, well, look, if you want to be a good student, you sit here quietly, you turn your homework in time. This is what an A looks like and all this. So we have to go through a period of unlearning that. Like Barbara said, you don't know what you don't know. So you're thinking all this time that it's to fit in, to be like everybody else. So when you notice, hey, you know what? I really don't like math, or I really don't like English. You're beginning to look in and say something's wrong with me because this person is shining next to me getting A's and I'm getting C's, and I'm just trying to figure out what's wrong with me rather than being able to appreciate that that's not maybe your gift. And you could be spending that energy finding your gift and honing that skill rather than trying to pattern yourself after somebody else who is gifted in a different area than you.
Awesome. So now I just want to go around to everybody and ask for our listeners, because I always say we have to do a CTA, which is, call to action, takeaway from whatever you do, because we're always talking about being an impact. So I want from each panelist to just give one takeaway or something that you would give to our audience regarding any challenges they might have in their purpose journey. And also, please let them know how they can contact you as well. So I will start off with Pat this time.
So my big takeaway out of all of this is that we are all on a spiritual journey, a journey to serve others, to help others, and that it may look different at different stages of life, but you're still within that journey. And I really like that Mom of 15. I like her perspective on all of this because she has seen it through the lens of not just herself and her spouse and her parents and her siblings, but she's also seen it through the lives of her children. So I really appreciate your perspective on it. What I see in my business and in my practice and in my life is that there's a lot of confusion out there. A lot of people aren't really sure where they're going and what they're doing. And that we, you and us, that we're all in this life together. And we're all here to help each other grow, no matter what stages we're in. So if you see that somebody's struggling and they're not quite sure what their purpose is or what their mission is, they need to have a hand, and you can certainly do that. We can all do that for each other. My business is, wrapped around primarily business owners, but I talk a lot in my practice about living life and about getting down to people's purpose and to their missions and to what they really want in life and their goals, and making them huge, massively huge. Because one of the reasons why people fail at their goals, every year in New Year's resolutions, 92% of people don't reach their goals. And it's because their goals are too small. So part of your purpose and part of your mission is to make sure your goals are appropriate for you. Then if you're thinking, about what I'm going to give my kids for Christmas, or what I'm going to do for a vacation next year, you're thinking way too small. You need to think on a bigger perspective of, how can I really impact the world? Because you know what? If you've had the thought about making a bigger impact, that thought was given to you, and you've got all the tools to be able to carry it out. So I'm encouraging you to please grow, and please stretch and help each other, and help yourself. Have big, audacious goals that are so big that whenever anybody thinks about, when everybody talks to you and you think about it, you know that there's a bigger purpose for you to be here in the world. You can reach me by the easiest way is by email, pat@cornerofficeuniversity.com, pat@cornerofficeuniversity.com. And I would love to connect with you. I'm in the process of building a new business, and I'm going to be documenting it, all of it, through video. It's going to be really interesting. If you've ever wanted to build $1 million business, you want to follow along. So reach out to me either through Facebook or through email, and I'll tell you how you can follow along.
Thank you, Pat. Okay. One takeaway for the audience. I will go to Lachelle next.
I just have loved this discussion. I love everybody's perspective because, it's life is a journey, and we all have different places where we're at. So, just like you start off as a baby to a teenager and all that. So each of these perspectives are reaching people at different points of their life. So that's the takeaway that I'm getting. And I think that we really need to take some time to look in the mirror. I just remember in my own struggle with depression, I would avoid the mirror because I didn't know the person that I saw on the other side. So taking that time to ask yourself those hard questions, what's going on? Why do I not feel like I matter? Or, just taking the time to dive deeper, get around people that you feel can help you. It resonates with you. Even when people are saying things, if it gets your attention, if you're scrolling on Facebook, something makes you stop, follow those different times where you can begin to branch out and do things differently so that you can continue to grow and find the answers that you need in order to have that fulfilled life. Because, you have to be your own hero. In everybody's case that we've said before, nobody came like Superman or somebody, coming to get somebody as a hero, right? You have to be your own inner hero. And so you have to know who you are inside. And as you begin to figure that out, you'll be able to be in a position to where you could share your story and you can give to others in ways that it's not taxing, you're not overcommitted, you're not overwhelmed, but you recognize the value that you have, and then you just want to share that value with others. Oh, and I can be reached. You can just, any of the shows, y'all need to watch it, okay? If not, catch the replay and you can leave me a comment in the comment section.
Thank you, Lachelle. And next, Letitia.
Okay, I have truly, like everyone else, I've loved every response. I've loved connecting with all these beautiful women. My biggest takeaway is I think the common denominator that we all put here to serve, educate, teach, impact, while we as individuals continuously evolve in our own purpose so that we can continue to serve, educate, teach, and impact. I thank Barbara so much for putting a panelist like this together for different women, different backgrounds to come together just to learn, just to learn from one another. Like I said, I am like in awe right now of just being able to sit in a room with such women who have had such longevity in this entrepreneur space. And, I think my biggest thing is I want to pay it forward. That is like my purpose. As I'm learning myself on this journey, my biggest goal is to pay it forward. So everybody I come in contact with daily, every person I talk to, I just tell them, let me just teach you and show you what I learned. And my only thing to you is pay it forward to the next person. That's it. So my show on the Diamond Experience comes on every Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it is called what? Spread the word, because that's what I want to do. I want to spread the word. And you can reach me on Facebook as Letitia Jackson, my name. And then on Instagram, I am beautiful, I am.
And you are beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next lady, Queen Barbara.
Well, hey there. I think as I've been listening to all the women we've already talked about, we all have the same mission, but we didn't start out that way. So my takeaway for somebody that's listening right now, there is somebody probably listening either live or to the replay that's like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, how did they start to do a panel like this? We all have a voice, and we all have a message to get out there. But every one of us though has also had to get out of our comfort zone and said, okay, you know what? I might be shaking in my boots, but I am going to do this. And so if right now you are getting a little voice in your head saying, I could never do something like that, you ought to come and talk to me. I am the queen of getting people to do stuff like this. And you start, and I will get you to start doing it. And that's one of it. I've had several people that said, gee, Barb, if it hadn't been for you, I would never have started doing these. I start people out on Instagram. Hey, let's do it. So if you want to or if you are a widow right now and are facing some issues, please reach out to me. And you can find me on Facebook, Barbara Lunan Ellison, or you can go to my website. It's movingonmovement.com. On the very top, it says Chat with Barb. And you can get right onto my calendar. So if you want to do that, and I'm also on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Miss Barbara. And
and come and listen to our show. Tuesday morning, 8:30, Happiness 101. Come and listen. We laugh. If you need a laugh, come and listen to our show. We laugh.
Well, thank you, Barbara, for reminding of our show. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And last but our special guest tonight, Lawana Williams. So last take of your wisdom.
Lawana Williams?
Oh, sorry. Lawana Bradford. God, this is a blooper, and I can't take it out. I'm so sorry. Lawana Bradford. Want to hear your wisdom?
We only talk every day, right? But
I know. I'm sorry. I just keep hearing stuff too. Let me put myself on mute. That's what I want to do.
Well, it has been an honor and a pleasure to be with all of you. I've learned so much, and just much respect, much love to all of you. So what I would say to those that are listening is life is happening now. right now. So you want to live in the moment, you want to seize the moment, and don't beat yourself up if you can't, put that check mark on this is my purpose. As you've heard from every panel member here, life's a journey, and there's an evolution, but there's also a thread. So if you can find that thread that brings you joy, that inspires you, that brings a smile to your face, let that be your anchor. And then just trust that God, in his perfect timing, will bring you to the realization of what your purpose is. Because sometimes in the journey, it's preparing us for that ultimate bang or explosion that we're supposed to have in life. So enjoy the journey. Don't beat yourself up. Know that at the appointed time, you will know, you will serve, you will have an impact, and you will be remembered. And you can reach me by my name, LaWanna Bradford, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or my Celebrate You Women Embracing Wellness community. And also, can I tell them about my show, Barbara? I'm not on the Diamond Factor, but Barbara and I have a show called Celebrate You Live. And it's just about inspiring and elevating women. And I would love each of you to grace us with your presence one Friday night.
Thank you, LaWanna Bradford. I truly appreciate you so much. I was like, let me find the mute. That was bad. Okay, with that said, I want to thank each and every panelist. I want to thank everybody out there that's been listening. I see the listeners popping in and everything. And I was like, the biggest thing the biggest takeaway is to let you know that, like the women said, everybody has their different flavor of it. But the biggest thing is make sure you're searching for your purpose. That's really important right now. And not because you see this and see that and everything going on around you, and then you feel like, oh, I have to do this, this, and this. No, you need to, because you all have that special, what I always say, you have that special gift in you. You weren't put on this earth by mistake. You were put on this earth for a purpose. And you have a talent. We're all unique in our own way. So just make sure that when you are, going through the life, your journey, looking for your purpose and your passion and your drive, as I always say, that you do it because of you, because we need you. Each and every one of us, we all need each other, just like this panel that's put together tonight and every month. We need each other. So I love you, ladies. I thank you so much. I always call you Queen Diamonds because you are Queen Diamonds. And our next show will be, like I said, every month. It's going to be November 5th. I was just double checking the calendar. And it's 8 o'clock, whatever time zone, but 8 o'clock Central Time I have. Okay, so do either before or after, wherever you're at in the world. It's going to be 8 o'clock Central Time. And we will be here with another Hot Topics, talking to these wonderful ladies. You never know when we have another special guest, or if LaWanna might want to come back and be on the panel with us, talk about other topics that we're going to bring to you. So this is the Diamond Perspective panelists. Thank you, everybody. Ladies, you are awesome, amazing, and remember that every day of your life.
Thank you. Much love, everyone.
Love.